Finally, something good happened to Orlando Magic fans. Year after year, despite having high draft picks, they always seem to be slotted just after the top-end talent was already off the board. And the one time they nailed their selection with Domantas Sabonis, Rob Hennigan traded him alongside Oladipo for Serge Ibaka on the last year of his contract. Well, now Magic fans were in luck, with future All-Star Jalen Suggs falling to them at number 5, followed by the fantastic selection of Franz Wagner with the 8th pick. I think they were the biggest winners on draft night, and their future is looking so much more promising. In this video, we will focus on Franz Wagner. We will break down his game, discuss his floor and ceiling in the NBA, and we will go over why he very well likely will develop into an all-star in this league. But before we jump in, if you end up enjoying this video, hit that like button to help out my channel. And let me know how you would grade the Magic's draft night and what you believe is Wagner's floor and ceiling. As many of you already know, I do try and respond to most people. Okay, let's get into it. Magic fans should be very happy with the Franz Wagner selection. This kid is special. He's a versatile two-way player that can be used in a variety of ways for the Magic. He's one of the younger players coming out of this draft at just 19 years old, and even though he measured in at 6 feet 9 inches tall at Michigan, it's reported that he's had a growth spurt and now measures in at 6 feet 11 inches, which of course elevates his long-term potential. In his sophomore season at Michigan, Wagner improved at nearly every aspect of his game and averaged 12.5 points on 47.7% shooting from the field, 6.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.3 steals, and a block per game. He contributed in almost every way possible. It's rare to find a player with his size and speed that can spread the floor. He's a solid shooter and can knock down shots with a dribble or two or in the catch and shoot. But Wagner still needs to improve upon his efficiency, which I know he will. I'm confident that he will be an above average three-point shooter in this league because he knocked down 83.5% of his free throws, unlike guys who went ahead of him like Jonathan Kuminga and Scotty Barnes, who only shot their free throws at a 62% clip. And in today's game, shooting is a must. He's also a very good playmaker, especially for his position. He's a very high IQ player who makes quick reads and makes the right pass, whether it's in the pick and roll, catching the ball while in movement and quickly finding easy shots for his teammates, or dumping it off to open guys after attacking the closeouts. He could also be deadly running dribble handoffs with shooters and facilitating from the elbow areas. He's very unselfish and his teammates are gonna love playing with him. Also, in general, the offense tends to flow a lot better when guys keep the ball moving. And as an added cherry on top, Wagner rarely turns the ball over and is a very good screener. He's also a very good cutter in addition to being comfortable starting the transition offense himself right off a rebound, and has displayed solid footwork and utilizes the Euro to get around defenders to score in transition. Another part of Wagner's game I'm really excited about is his defense. He really does make excellent reads on both ends of the floor. The kid's a really good off-ball defender who consistently disrupts plays by beating opposing players to their spots. He's also a good on-ball defender with the needed lateral quickness to be able to switch screens as well as chase smaller guys around screens. And he can do a solid job protecting the rim. At Michigan, Wagner led the team to the 4th best defense in the country, considering he can guard both the perimeter and the paint. Players who can guard multiple positions are incredibly rare and valuable in the NBA, and it looks like Wagner has the potential to be able to guard all 5 positions. He really is one of the best defenders coming out of this draft. Now, Wagner does have some areas he's going to need to improve upon. His handles are okay, but he's not the most confident dribbler. He will need to work on this area of his game so he can be utilized more as a secondary ball handler and as a go-to scoring option off the dribble. I'd also like to see him finish more often with his offhand to make him less predictable offensively. And even though Wagner has fantastic feel for the game, he will have to add some strength to help him finish around the basket and in order to deal with bigs like Joel Embiid defensively. But again, he's 19 years old and there is no reason to believe he won't build up strength over time. These are all things Wagner will figure out as he develops and approaches his prime years in the league. He doesn't really have too many weaknesses. Some will say, hey, he doesn't have too many holes to his game and is good at almost everything, but he's a master of none. Now, I understand that argument, but honestly, I think people are getting a little too cute when saying that, talking themselves out of a really good prospect. I heard the exact same type of stuff about Tyrese Halliburton last year too, and he ended up being one of the top 3 players in his draft class. These types of do-everything glue guys can leave a massive impact on their teams. And who's to say he won't be great at any of these areas of his game as he develops and approaches his prime years in the league? The kid is a very unselfish, high IQ, super versatile player who can be utilized in many different roles. I see his floor being a glue guy starter and one of the better role players in the league, and his ceiling as a multi-year secondary all-star on a winning team. He is a low-risk, high-reward prospect, and I'd put my money on Franz Wagner developing into an all-star. Magic fans have a lot to be excited about. What do you guys think is Wagner's floor and ceiling in the NBA? How would you grade the Magic's draft night? Let me know in the comments section. I do try and respond to most people. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button for me to support the channel and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next one, guys, I'm out.